Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Fesa, and today we are doing this long-awaited video of how I found out I was pregnant. And it is so insane because I literally just told you guys, so now I'm like hitting y'all with the videos like bam, 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 bam. But yeah. And I thought it would be super fun to tell this, and I've watched a few people do this story, so I thought it'd be fun.
So say it with hope and you were sure I couldn't agree that we were meant to be, but our love is what they talk about in movies. Our love is what they talk about. So say it with hope and you were sure.
Where do I start? Okay, so let's start up until, I'll start a couple weeks before I found out. 20 weeks and 3 days. So a few weeks before I was expecting my period, or before I found out, I started noticing like backaches. And like, if you know anything about like, I guess like body posture, kind of learned this a little bit in school as far as like fitness and everything. Like a anterior pelvic tilt or a posterior pelvic tilt, in which like your pelvis, you kind of tilt your butt up a little bit. You kind of like, if that makes sense. The way you kind of walk with the anterior pelvic tilt is that like you kind of put pressure on your lower back. And so I was like, oh, like this is normal. Like I have lower back pains anyway, you know, maybe it's the bed or, you know, whatever. But it was just a little strange. And there was a time before, which is why I had tests, obviously, at home, was because there was a time before where I thought I was, or weird things kept happening to me, where like every symptom you could possibly imagine, like I had that symptom, like I was just like, yep, I'm pregnant, but I never was. But so this time, like I didn't have any weird symptoms, like just had a backache. That was it. And I remember going to work on a Saturday morning, and Dylan was sitting on the couch. Dylan doesn't work on weekends. So he was sitting on the couch, and I was just like, oh, before I fix me a pizza or whatever, and before going to work, I'm going to just take a test. Like my period wasn't supposed to come on for another 2 days. And I was just like, you know, just go take the test. So I took the test, and I kind of just laid it out like on a paper towel. I kind of just laid it out, and I went into the other room, and I was kind of talking to Dylan, and I came back a couple minutes later, like not intentionally timing it, like anything like that. It was literally a couple minutes later. And I came back, and it was like the faintest little line. And I was just like, and all of a sudden I kind of paused, and I was like, Dylan. And it was hilarious because he was just like, what? And I showed it to him, and I was like, do you see that? He's like, I mean, I think I see something, but I'm like, are you kidding? How can you not see this? And I'll actually upload the pictures. I'll insert them here. In the video. But I'm like, how do you not see this? And he was just like, okay, well, let's just, you know, let's get like a digital one, and then, you know, we'll go from there. So I was like, I'm not about to wait. So I ordered one on Amazon because I knew it would come the next day because I was going into work. So I really didn't have time to stop. Ordered one on Amazon. And then like in the meantime, when I came home from work, I took one, I took another test, and then I took another test, and then I took another test, and then I took another one. It just got darker. Like every test I took, it got a little bit darker after that. And I was just like, whoa. And so I'm showing it to Dylan, and Dylan's like, oh, you might be pregnant. I'm like, might be? You don't see the lines? Like, are we looking at the same thing? Because I was convinced at that point we were looking at the same things. I always said it was going to be a surprise, and like, And I always said that, like, if I ever told him, like, I was gonna film it, and guess who didn't film it? Like, no, I didn't film it. So he literally, I get the test the next day, and he was like, and you know how they say, like, wait until the morning because it's like you have the most hormones, because overnight it kind of builds up, so it's better to take the test in the morning. I got home from work and he was like, oh, well, let's just eat first, like, and then we can take it. I said, no, I'm about to take it right now. So I literally went in there, and I'm just like, okay, well, distract me while we're waiting on it to, you know, go through. So he's telling me about his day, and we're just kind of sitting there, and I'm sitting there waiting on the test. And then in the middle of like his sentence, I just grabbed it and I was like, look at it. And it was like the sweetest moment ever. And he honestly did not believe me. He told me he wasn't gonna believe it until he saw the words across the screen. Until he saw the words across the screen. And I'm just like, dude. So it literally took me forever for me to convince him, because he just didn't believe me. And like, and honestly, before that, I started noticing really weird symptoms. Like in that week span where my back was hurting, they say like you get like of course you have an increased amount of blood and everything. So like when I was brushing my teeth, like it would just be so random. Like my gum, I would just like spit out, like when I would spit the toothpaste out, I would spit out like a little bit of blood. And I'm like, my mouth's not bleeding. Like, why is there blood? Like, and I was just like, that's strange. But honestly, like I had already Googled all these things. So like in my head, I'm like, are you pregnant? But I'm like, no, you're not pregnant, you're not. But it was. And I told Dylan, and Dylan was just like, whatever, let's just wait. But he literally did not believe me until he saw the words. And and because of, you know, everything that's happening today, he can't really be a part of any ultrasound, any appointments, like anything like that. So I literally have to like film, and then I show him later. And I try to film his reaction, but I did not get to film first time he heard the heartbeat, and he literally teared up, and it was like the sweetest thing I've ever seen. But I do have the second time where he actually saw like the physical baby, and I'm actually gonna insert that clip at the end of this video. But yeah, my story is actually pretty simple. It is a little funny, but it is actually pretty simple. So yeah, I am going to document this journey, this process, and I am super excited, and actually had an appointment today and got a chance to see the baby. So we actually are doing a gender reveal in less than a week, a couple days from now. So I'm super excited. So we finally get to know. We're like 90% sure it's a boy, but we're 90% sure it's a boy, but you just never know. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Be sure to share with your friends, your family, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss another upload from me. And cue the video. Are you ready now? It's upside down.
So say it with hope, and you were